Hello, I'm Zagone with Northwest Winterfest. I invite you to learn more about the HMONG culture.
Hi there, my name is Jer Moa, and I'm currently the president of the Spokane HMONG Association. And I'm also a teacher. I teach psychology at Spokane Community College for 14 years now. And today I have my wife here with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about our organization and what we do during the winter months.
Hi, my name is Mai Yang, and I am the better half here. Today we are so excited to be invited here to speak a little bit about our culture, and I'm just very thrilled to have this opportunity.
One thing I wanted to share is that I came to the United States, to a beautiful little town called Missoula, Montana, and I was only 5 years old. So just imagine being 5 years old and not knowing a single word of English, right? So it's been a long journey, but I'm really proud to be a Hmong American. And I moved to Spokane in 1990, and I've been here ever since. And this is my home now. And I'm really proud to be surrounded by our small but tight-knit Hmong community. And so my wife, she'll talk more about, what it means to be Hmong in our community.
So this time of year, when we talk about Winterfest, we look at, what are some of the activities and traditions that we have. And our biggest one in the Hmong community is the Hmong Cultural New Year. And that is something that, in the years past, we just look forward to, and we plan for it, months in advance. Unfortunately, with COVID this year, we had to cancel our event, and we won't be able to, celebrate with our family and friends. But it was an opportunity to really have relatives and friends come from all over the region to gather and celebrate, and even make new friends. Especially, this time of year is where we look forward to what's up ahead. And so Winterfest kind of is a celebration, and it's unfortunate that we don't have that this year with our Hmong New Year being canceled. So this year we're so pleased that our daughter, Melia Mua, is going to be the featured artist for our Hmong community tree. And one of her inspirations is the Pandao, which is our Hmong story cloth here. It kind of is very representative of our culture. Anybody that sees that material and that pattern would say, oh, no, instantly, that's Hmong. It talks about our culture, it talks about, our journey, and it's very important to us. The Hmong people, we didn't have a written language until the 1950s, and so everything was passed down through oral tradition. And the Pandao, or the material here, the embroidery piece of it, is another way, another medium of passing on a Hmong story and our Hmong traditions.
And one thing I want to mention about the embroidery too is that my mom, she actually did a lot herself when I was a lot younger, and I witnessed it. And one of the things that I really appreciated was the fact that it was all handmade. There was no machine, there was no measurement, and so everything was just done by eyeballing it. And I think that the authenticity of it, coming from an artist, or my mom would never think of herself as an artist, but I would see her as an artist. And I think that was the most wonderful thing, is that just doing it through their own thoughts, right? Instead of having a design already pre-made. So I think it's just really tells a lot about who we are.
One of the things about the Hmong culture that I find very interesting and almost comical is that when we're at the New Year celebration, everybody wears their best, and they wear a lot of jewelry, like all the jewelry in the family. So whoever is the eligible, girl, daughter, or son would get the most jewelry, because it's a time to kind of like peacock, you know what I mean? Like, it's just to really attract somebody, and the more jewelry and the more money that you put on yourself, others would see you, perhaps that you are from a richer, more well-to-do family. So in that regard, if you're interested in a daughter or somebody else's daughter, they'll be more likely to choose you and allow you to marry their daughter, because they know that you can take care of the daughter. And for me, this is actually one of my a dowry piece that I got for my wedding. So this is passed on an heirloom from my parents to me, and I will probably pass it on to my daughters too when they get married.
One of the wonderful things about our celebration, the Spokane Hmong New Year or the Hmong New Year in general, is that it traditionally is a time period where you young people get to meet each other, and another way of looking at it is it's the time period where you can find a mate, a person you can date, and so it's kind of befitting that we're here talking about that because you work all year to go to this party, right? We call it the New Year, to meet people, and so I think that's one of the things that young people really look forward to, is a time to get to see other people, potentially find a loved one, right?
Yeah. Find your life partner.
Yeah. And so maybe you could talk about some of the activities that we do within that, but generally I think that's traditionally it has been a time of rejoice, and we've worked so hard all throughout the year. Now it's our time to just hang out, find someone we can maybe settle down with.
Yeah, I think one of the things I miss the most though is in the old country we had bullfighting as one of the events at the New Year, and then another one is spinning tops, and it's a competition where you spin your top and then your opponent spins his top to try to knock off your top, and whoever's top is left spinning is the winner. And I think those are things that I miss a lot because we don't have that here anymore, because back then we would celebrate New Year for almost a whole week because it took so long for people to come from different villages to come together. And so we wanted to have that time together because we might not see each other again for a whole new year, another year. So that's the things that I miss a lot, is just the fun activities, the traditional ball tossing, which Jer mentioned is where the eligible young men and women would toss balls back and forth. And it was a culturally and acceptable way of talking, because in our tradition culture we don't mingle with the opposite sex, and so it was culturally appropriate at that time to do ball tossing so that you can actually have the opportunity to talk to people and see if they would be a good life partner for you. And so that's one thing that we will be missing this year, is the traditional ball toss.
So if you want to know more about the Hmong people, you can go to our Facebook, here in Spokane. Just look up Spokane Hmong Association, and you can find more information about it, or you can contact me. As I said earlier, I'm the current Spokane president for the Spokane Hmong Association.